car? And you look and go, oh, it's not my car. And you kind of sneak away. So true. So true. Well, I called this talk the, not the big leap. It was actually, it's never too late to be blessed. And I had a heck of a time coming up with this talk. So as always, the talk came through as I'm driving up, coming to the center. And the reason why I got real clear about, we always are wanting more, and Gay Hendricks talks about in his book, The Big Leap, and a lot of you bought that, and he also talks about it in Conscious Living, is that we have to start to shift our way of being. And then I picked up another book, I know Bev goes, how did you read all those? Called Mindset, and that's the one I talked about last week, where we either are in this fixed mindset, this stuck mindset, or we're in a learning mindset or a growth mindset. And I thought, as I'm driving up, I thought, isn't it interesting to think about in your own lives that as we move along in our life, we at some point in our life, everything was just spectacular and it was really great. Do you remember that? You've had that blip in time and it was like, whoa, life was good, making lots of money, had a great relationship, everything was going great. Then all of a sudden it just goes, and you don't know why. And we get older, and as I'm contemplating this going, oh my God, I got it. This is the secret of the universe, is that if we don't allow ourselves to continue to shift and grow, we're not going to be able to have those moments of prosperity, and we're not going to have those great relationships, because we're so, I'm going to say, attached to that way of being that we had. Oh, I made all that money as, in my example, a coach. I was making like 10 to 15,000 a month. Now I'm not making that. But that's because I chose a different path. But what was it in that point of time that I was willing to do in order to create that to happen? So I thought about it, and I thought there's this ever desire to change and grow. And if we stay in a fixed mindset, if we're not willing to shift and we're not willing to grow, we're not going to have all the blessings that God is giving us. Ernest Holmes talks about having to continuously look at our mind, be aware, and we talk about it in Buddhism, we talk about it even in the Jewish faith, is that we have to witness our thoughts, we have to be present, and be able to look at what's going on in our life. What happens is that we, at some point, get so complacent that we stop doing what we need to do in order to grow. We have a nice little fat retirement, or we have, a cushy job, or relationships just going along. And then at some point, Spirit goes, you know what, she's just, or he's not really growing. So what I'm going to do, whoa, how did that go off?
Maybe I didn't
do
see
this
that.
again. I hope it's not the batteries. If it is,
No. There it is.
okay. There, nope, it's going on and off. Anyway, so I need batteries, guys. So batteries.
Come on.
So what happens is that as we get complacent, and I realize that for myself, you know how you're making a lot of money, and then all of a sudden, she's going to turn that off. Go ahead.
All of a sudden it turns off.
It turns off, and then the money turns off. It's true.
We're in suspense.
We're in suspense.